Hey, what is going on, freedom fighters? Welcome back to another episode of Break the Chains Media. Today is Thursday, October 9th, 2025, and I wasn't sure what to call this. I guess it's called Make Up Wednesday on Thursday live stream, because I did totally plan on doing this entire live stream yesterday, but because it was so last minute, I was trying to scramble together, get all my sources and all my websites linked up. I just didn't have enough time. It was stumbling and my brain was kind of like scattered. So long story short, yesterday's live stream was cut short. I cleared it off the page just because it wasn't up to snuff and what I wanted to make sure that you guys got delivered, because I want to make sure I wanted to make sure everything that I put out is honest, it's truth, and it's all proving towards a common goal or a common point. So with that being said, that's why we're here today on Thursday. Let's go. We are going to talk about the my 2 cents on this voting system here in Colorado, the supposed gold standard that Tina Peters and so many other people claim it is. I have a hard time really sitting with that. I call it the gold standard for fraud, because this is kind of how it feels to me, at least when you look at it at the surface level. And I was trying to do some more due diligence, some more digging, and I just wanted to bring it up and try to understand from their perspective why they think it is such a gold standard. We're not going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the James Comey. James Comey was arraigned yesterday for his indictments and stuff. So we're going to touch on that. We are also going to touch on the immigration issue. We're going to touch upon some Antifa issue. Going to touch on a couple of different things because, and then we're going to wrap up everything with this current trend that's happening in Colorado, where apparently everybody is running for governor. All the GOP candidates are running for governor, while we have so many open positions and so many other races that should be getting focused on, so we can actually fundamentally change how our state operates, because it's not always about the top dog, who's in, the president, right? Just because we put a president in doesn't mean the laws change, right? He can do executive orders, governors can do the same kind of thing, but you obviously have to start from the beginning and get these other affiliated party positions in line, so that way you can actually enforce and encourage fundamental change from the ground up when it comes to actually doing something structural, and hopefully lensing it to what needs to happen in Colorado is this larger issue of pushing back this communist, this extreme leftist legislation. This we're talking so there's different degrees of it, right? We can talk about the immediacy. The immediacy of the things would be obviously putting more money in taxpayers' pockets, getting the cost of living into a reasonable range, stop spending so much ridiculous amounts here in Colorado, rein back this fiscal landslide that the Democrats have put on us here in Colorado, and that starts with looking through the books, doing it. We got to do a Colorado Doge. There's a lot of things that have to happen to really break down and put Colorado on a safer path forward. Then we can start talking about these other social issues. Whether we talk about abortion, whether we talk about transing children. Granted, it's very important. So the transing issue with children is extremely important. I just think that priority number one is getting the fiscal books in order here in Colorado and in other places. Democrats love spending money, and one of the things that I hate government doing more than anything is spending my money in stupid ways, right? Hear that. What you got for me, right? Let's go. Thank you. No, you're good. Melindy, just jump right in, because I've only been blabbing on for the last minute, and I will definitely repeat myself once or twice. So just join me live. And that's the one thing that bothers me with Rumble. I don't know if you're watching it from a computer, But I feel like every time I watch Rumble through my computer, if I'm watching the video, it plays and then it like stops. And then I have to like move the play cursor backwards and forwards to get it up to speed. Yeah. No. I feel like the Rumble player works a lot better on phones and on tablets and like, you know, personal devices. But when I watch it on a PC, it definitely stammers. But I appreciate everyone joining Break the Chains Media right now. Thursdays are kind of a catch-up day for me if something obviously falls to the wayside. I wasn't here yesterday, but here we are. We are in it. It is time to make it happen, and I'm here for you. So we're going to get into it. First time joining Break the Chains Media, hit that thumbs up button, hit that follow button, share this with all your friends and family. Be a part of the change you wish to see in the world. Be a part of the chain gang here on Break the Chains Media. Let's go. Let's go. We got it. BreakTheChains.media is the website. You can support me there. You can read some of my older articles. I've got new ones coming. I promise, guys. I'm doing like 10 things at once. I don't know if you saw. Hey, check it out though. You should still be able to hear me. But how cool is that? That animated techno skeleton that I have for my Halloween season, right? It's a Halloween season vibe, right? I got another one that I'm gonna pull out in a minute too, but that's all AI. I think it's pretty fucking dope. So pretty sweet. You know, if I was a skeleton robot, you know what I mean? It's pretty cool. But yeah, so I've got that. You can follow me at breakthechains.media. Realm Walker hot sauce, if you like hot sauce, pick up a bottle. I've got some of the hotter ones now. I'm working on some of the more mild ones. Hopefully I'll have a full line of all my hot sauces come Christmas, because that's usually when I sell and push out a lot of my bottles during Christmas time. So breakthechains.media is the website, or you can follow me at Break the Chains M on X. Break the Chains M on X, Break the Chains Media on Instagram and YouTube, Rumble, you name it, that's where I am. So first things first, let's get into it. Because it's kind of in the news, I wanted to play this, the whole peace deal, this quote unquote peace deal. I don't know how you all feel about it, but I posted this a couple days ago, right? But we're gonna watch it again. This is from RT. But listen to this snake. He's just look at this little goblin, little pot-bellied goblin. I love that is such a great phrase that Alex Jones made. Pot-bellied goblin. Check this out.
Now, ballistic missiles that are intercontinental ballistic missiles for 8,000 kilometer range. What does that mean? They add another 3,000 kilometers, and they've got under their atomic guns. New York City in target. Washington, Boston, Miami.
Like, did you see that? Wait, watch. One more.
Mar-a-Lago. Okay.
Mar-a-Lago.
So that is a very great danger. You don't want to be under the Miami, Mar-a-Lago.
Do you see his behavior? Do you see how he instills fear into these people? He says, we have to quell Iran because, you know, they're going to blow up the whole eastern seaboard, and if they don't do it, let's just do this. Ragnar, go. Stop. Lay down. Go lay down. Trust me, my dog's in my room right now, but I'm not gonna be like Hassan, okay? I will not be like Hassan, I promise, because I love my dog. My dog is a sweet boy. Actually, come here. Come say hi. Come say hi for everyone. Here. We'll say hi. Come on, up. Yes. See, look at what a sweetie. What a sweetie. Can you look this way? Can you look over here? Yes. Say hi to everyone. Say hi. Ragnar. Yes. Yes, you're so sweet. He's a sweetie. I know. He's a star. See? He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yes. I'm not gonna be like that fucking Hassan Piker over here, because I love my dog. I know. Here. All right. You have to go lay down, though. You have to go lay down. Up. either lay down or I send you outside. What do you want? I can't pet you while I'm doing my live stream. Anyways, so I wanted to show you this, and then actually what I could do right now, because it is that time. I don't know how to really type this in, but there's definitely a video. Yeah, this is probably it. Let's see if this will work. Is it?
Guarantee that in
this country.
No. That's not it. There's a long. Okay, yeah, here it is. Here it is.
And its chief proxy.
I think Netanyahu's got most of the Middle East named here, so he started on bombing Iran decades ago. So let's check this out. We're just gonna compare and contrast. Okay, we're gonna compare and contrast with what we just saw. Oh yeah, is this it?
It's away from.
Yeah.
not stopped.
This
Iran
is
could
what I wanted
produce
to
a
show
nu-
you. Okay, hold on. So we just saw him speak on how Iran was going to bomb the whole eastern seaboard, including Mar-a-Lago, right? Because Mar-a-Lago, because we have to stoke fear into Trump and into America, so they can go fight Israel's war. Let's just listen to this time lapse of the years of video of Prime Minister Netanyahu for 30 years, from 95 till today, saying that Iran is about to get nuclear weapons. Let's just watch it all together. Sit back and relax.
Not stopped. Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year. It could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make.
The year of these videos is in the top left corner. Just FYI.
A bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous.
2015.
Weeks away from having the fissile material
Weeks away.
for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from
2012.
being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb.
Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year.
2006.
250 bombs in a decade.
Ladies and gentlemen,
1996.
time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing
1995.
alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
Not stopped.
I know you have your things to address. Been trying to tell you and Big Timber Lodge about this guy. Yeah, real scale shell. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on. I have to try to. It's always tough to copy. Hold on. Can I? Is there a way for me to just copy it? All right, hold on. Hold, please. I keep trying to click on it and it's not working. All right. There we go. I guess I'll just copy it like that. Great. I'll copy it like that. I'll post it in here because this is how I do things. Post it there. Okay, great. For later. Appreciate you, Melindy. Appreciate you. But yeah, so wrapping up with this, I know we're kind of on a sidetrack here, but wrapping up with this, that was 30 years of Netanyahu speaking about how Iran is about to bomb us. Iran is about to get the nuclear material, and here he is yet again today saying now that they've got the bombs, now they're about to get ballistic capabilities to go
Missiles
even
that
farther.
are intercontinental ballistic missiles for 8,000 kilometer range. What does that mean? They add another 3,000 kilometers, and they've got under their gun.
Yeah. It's funny how he had to preface it. He said they've got an 8,000 kilometer range, and then they have to get another 3,000 kilometers to even do this.
Under their atomic guns. In New York City, in Target, Washington, Boston, Miami, Mar-a-Lago. Okay, so that is a
Mar-a-Lago. He's happy about it. He's gleeful. He loves to revel in this warmongering. All right, folks. Yeah, that's just part of it, and then we're going to keep rolling, because I needed to get into this other hotter topic here, based in what do we got? We got Comey Comey's arraignment wasn't really anything. Just so everyone knows, Comey's arraignment was supposed to be was yesterday. Happened yesterday. He basically took his two. I'm trying to hit all the national news first, and then we're going to get into the Colorado stuff in the second half. But James Comey indictment happened yesterday, October 8th. Former FBI director pleads not guilty over alleged lies to Congress. His court case is set for January 5th. Pleaded not guilty to 2 charges. Where are they? Where are the charges? It's like lying under oath, lying to Congress, fabricating. Where is it? 2 counts indictment accuses James Comey of lying to the Senate Judiciary Committee on September 30th, 2020, by denying he authorized an associate to act as an anonymous source to the media. It also alleges he obstructed a congressional proceeding. So, do we think anything's really gonna happen? Probably not. But I'll tell you what, it would be a dream. It would be a pure joy to see Comey actually get strung up, at least get some jail time, right? But no, he's probably just going to get slapped on the wrist, a little fine, you know. And the sad thing is that this is only a fraction of the corruption that he's been associated with. We're talking about Crossfire Hurricane. We're talking about the Steele dossier. We're talking about this whole multi-year fabrication effort of between Comey, between Clapper, between Brennan, between McCabe, between so many different aspects of this corrupt FBI prior to Trump's first term and during during Biden's term, or Obama's third term, as I was going to Freudian slip it. But yeah, Obama's third term was when Biden was in the office, right? That's really what happened. They told it to us plain as day. Obama even made a joke saying, if I could, I would sit in my pajamas in the basement, and I'd have someone just sit in charge, pretend to be president, while I would make orders from the basement. Right? He said it to us. They did it. They rigged the election. They rigged the 2020 election. They threw out national mail-in voting, throughout the whole COVID narrative. Arguably, if we want to talk about the buildup and the precipice to this quote-unquote civil strife, or as Tim puts it, civil war, if we are to speak like that, I would say arguably the buildup was when Trump came down the golden escalator, announced his candidacy, and everything shifted from there. And then it started ramping up. That was the gradually part. And then when COVID hit, because not only did you have COVID, the COVID narrative, and this whole thing unwind, in 2017 you had Dr. Fauci coming out and said, "I assure you, within this presidential administration, you will see the likes of a pandemic, the likes of which we have never seen in 100 years. This president's administration," I'm obviously paraphrasing, "this president's presidential term, we will see a pandemic and the likes of which we have not seen before." That was in 2017, folks. He announced that. Dr. Fauci announced that, okay? Then what happened 2 years later, 3 years later? Yeah, all the shit started coming from China, came over. We all lived through it, okay? But then that's what instituted the strife, the summer of love, the BLM, all this racial infighting, this racial division. It spawned all of this, arguably picking sides and this narrative creep, right? Then we instituted nationwide mail-in ballots, okay? And who has mail-in ballots? Colorado. And what are we about to address and leading into right now is the Colorado election system and how it is deeply compromised, and how it is they claim it's the gold standard because everything's on paper ballots. That's the reason they claim that it's the gold standard, because it's all on paper, okay? And that, to their credit, they're not wrong, okay? Yes, all of our elections are all of our ballots are paper ballots. We do not use electronic. I mean, I guess in theory you can go to a polling booth and use the actual electronic machines that we have here. But then, but yeah, all of our mail-in ballots, everybody that's registered here in Colorado uses a mail-in ballot. I have it here. Okay. Now we're just gonna get into it. And I wanted to actually bring this. I wanted to tie it in. I'm using a clip from Timcast. I called into the members only the uncensored portion, and I had a question because I think Matt Gaetz gave a great answer to the question that I had, and I wanted to. I'm actually going to refine this down further as to what Matt Gaetz was actually really speaking on, but I asked him the question about the compromised election between Tina Peters. They were talking about Venezuela. I tied in Venezuela. I tied in the Smartmatic systems. I don't know who saw my stream earlier this week when I spoke on the Venezuelan Smartmatic systems in the mid 2000s. That's how Maduro got elected. The compromising of the backdoors and this data, the SAES fundamental data, the systems in which they use the infrastructure in these electronic systems. Venezuela uses that. Then they mirrored that same core components over into Dominion. So circling back to Matt Gaetz in this question, I asked Matt Gaetz and Tim Katz's crew about how do we certify our elections, or how do we gain trust in our elective process once again.
All right. So I'll just run through it myself here and intro everyone here. Break the chains. You are live. How you doing?
Hello. Really quick, I'm going to go get more coffee while this plays. It's about a minute long. I will be right back. So, actually, can I do this? Hold on. No, I'm not even worried about it. Let's go.
Hello.
I'll be right back.
What's up, homie?
How you doing, guys? Great conversation. Very lively. I wanted to bring up, appreciate everyone in. Dude, Matt Gaetz, you're a legend. Everyone up on the panel, you're a legend. But I wanted to speak on the regards to election integrity and the Tina Peters case. Tina Peters just got done serving 1 year of her 9-year sentence without parole, and due to Mesa County clerks and the whole 2020 election rigging, whatever you want to call it. My question to you and the panel is, how do we, as Americans, which I think is the most pivotal thing, is return to honest election integrity, honest election practices, and return to election system that actually isn't risk of being compromised by foreign adversaries. And it kind of leads into a Venezuela conversation, but how do we ensure we have paper ballots and election systems that we can actually trust?
We have paper ballots in Florida because the Democrats made us. After the hanging and dangling chads, the Democrats demanded paper ballots, filled it in bubbles that had to be kept in chain of custody. They thought the Republicans were playing games with this, and so we have a Democrat-imposed system in Florida that I would say is the model of the country. And the biggest thing that stops the cheating is when you require frequent disclosures of the number of available ballots. The key ecosystem that allows ballots to be willed into existence is when you don't know how many of them there are. In Florida, the law is you have to report how many voted ballots there are as a supervisor of elections every 8 minutes.
And so then
you are constrained from the ability to just be like, well, we all the rural areas of the state came in. Now we'll see what Broward County has to offer. And when they tried that stuff in the 2018 election, courts went in and ruled that they couldn't do it, that they had to allow enhanced inspections, that they'd violated the state constitution. So I would say the Florida model is the model for the country. The other key point is personnel is policy. And at times we've been so focused at putting our best people in U.S. Senate, Congress, and like the Barack Obama, Eric Holder mission after they got out of power was to prioritize secretaries of state, attorneys general, sometimes less sexy roles, but they put some of the most talented operatives they had in those positions and maximized every advantage they had. We should take a page out of that playbook.
Love that. What a great answer. It does, and I think that that's hyper focused. I've been trying to tie these dots with Tina Peters and what she was trying to bring up, and it ties. Yeah. It's just gonna be me talking. So I can talk to the rest of that, but I wanted to get Matt Gaetz' answer because I'm so glad that I was able to ask Matt Gaetz that question, and we're gonna actually get out of here now because it really bogs down my shit. But I wanted to tie in the fact that so I have the automatic voter registration stuff here. I've got the Voter Access and Modernized Elections Act that happened in 2013 here in Colorado. Okay, basically changed it so this converted us into our electronic this was how they turned us into an entire state ran by mail-in ballots, right? And on top of that, this was also the same year. This is the same year that they instituted non-citizens driver's license in Colorado, okay? And this is also the same year, so you can. I'm gonna pace myself. I know. When I watch back, important thing, folks. A little tangent. And for anyone trying to do live streaming, for anyone trying to speak to a crowd, you always should be going back and listening to yourself speak into the camera and see how it sounds. So when you are gaining the information, you can learn from how other videos went and what you need to change and improve, right? My thing is I ramble and talk so fast that sometimes the point I'm trying to make gets convoluted and lost in the sauce. And I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to pace myself and give myself beats and tempo so that way I'm not rambling, sound like a fucking loony. Even though I am slightly a loony, right? But I want to make sure the information gets out to you. So with that being said, SB 13251, Colorado Road and Community Safety Act, allows the state to issue driver's license, minor's instruction permits, or identification cards to non-citizen residents of Colorado who cannot prove proof of lawful residence in the United States. Okay? There are currently 8 DMV offices that issue identity documents to individuals who cannot demonstrate lawful presence. Okay? So there's a lot of places in Colorado. This is in 2013. Okay? Individuals seeking to obtain documents are currently required to meet several documentation requirements. They need to get an individual taxpayer identification number issued by the IRS, a letter from the IRS, or a certified state tax return, or a social security number. Okay? Proof of Colorado income tax return filing for the immediate preceding year of documents demonstrating current, 1 year prior to your residency, first class mail. So you have to have a credit card statement, insurance policy, typed rent receipt, phone bill, these kind of things, right? You have to go to the DMV as an illegal immigrant and you can get a license. Okay? When you get a license, HB 1303 comes into play. Okay? Where does it say? When you go to the DMV, where does it say it? Is this it? Where is it at? I'm trying to look for hold please. No? Yeah. So this here is how you register. You turn your voter access modernized elections. Last update. This bill implements various changes to the Uniform Election Code of 1992. Currently, to be eligible to register to vote, a person must have resided in the state for precinct for 30 days prior to an election. This bill shortens the time required for state residency 22 and eliminates the minimum time that an elector must have resided within a Colorado precinct. So this updates voter information. This updates elector information. And an elector is a potential voter, right? But I thought this was, yeah. This talks about universal mail ballot elections. Under the bill, a mail ballot election is an election for which an active registered elector receive a ballot by mail. So anybody who's registered to vote in the state of Colorado gets a mail-in ballot. I'm sorry, this is the vote by mail modernization access. This is the bill that converts that to vote by mail. But on top of that, where is it? Automatic voter registration. So voter registration, transfer of records from the Department of Revenue, transfer of records from Department of Healthcare, voter register, all of these registrations tie in together into the state. So then all of these people, so when you sign up, when you get your identification, when you get your state ID, oh shit, god damn it, I didn't want to do that. Hold on. When you get your state ID through the DMV, you end up, I have to open up my history because I just closed out the window I was trying to open up. There it is. Oh, that's not it. Never mind. See, this is the same shit that happened yesterday. I thought I had the pull up, but I didn't. When you register through the DMV takes your registration and then signs it up for you to automatically vote. You take your DMV information. The DMV information automatically enrolls you into the voter registration. You actually have to opt out. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it because yeah, that's what I have pulled up. So I'm just going to pull up from the DMV right now. Yeah. Okay, look. Let's see what it says. I pulled up the dmv.org Colorado DMV, okay? Oh wait. So this is not a government website. This is not a government website. In order to register to vote in Colorado, you must be a U.S. citizen, Colorado resident who lived there for at least 22 days and before the election and at least 18 years old by the date of the next election. You cannot vote if you are currently serving a sentence or a felony. Of course, all that checks out and all that makes sense. And this is what the Democrats ride on when they say we don't allow illegal immigrants to vote in our elections. Okay, because it says it right here. You've got to be a U.S. citizen. You've got to be a U.S. citizen to vote. So of course illegals don't vote in our elections. Okay, but you just need to live in Colorado for at least 22 days and at least 18 years old, and then see what happens is you get, when you file this out, you get your tax number, your IRS number, you get your Social Security number, you get all these temporary identification forms, and then that signs you up for a non-citizen driver's license. But when you get that, you get registered. So here's the thing. Let me pull it up. Okay. This is the numbers that we're talking about, all right? Looking over here. Actually, I can pull it up here too. You see all this? See these numbers? You got Democrat, you got Republican, you got no labels, you got unaffiliated. You got total active voters in Colorado. Okay, 4.1 million voters in Colorado. 4.1 something million in Colorado, okay? Active registration changes of September 2025, okay? A little over 4 million people here, okay? I wonder what Colorado's population is, you know? Let's actually ask that really quick. I'm going to say 5 million. 6 million. 6 million. As of 2025, Colorado population of approximately 6 million, making it the 20th most populated state in the U.S. Okay? I wonder, what's the immigrant population? Let's see if it'll find it. See, the thing is how do you pull up illegal immigrant information? Wow. As of 2023, Colorado's unauthorized immigrant population. I love how they use the different phrases. As of 2023, Colorado's unauthorized immigrant population is estimated to be around 200,000. That's a low number in my opinion, which represents about 3.4% of the state's population. And folks, I keep coming back to the immigrant thing. I keep coming back to the licensing thing. I'm not saying that the illegal immigrants are what's causing the problem, because my core belief is that there are shady dealings going on with how our system actually operates, right? So if you look at the numbers here, okay, the immigrant situation is like a small fraction, but here's the thing: you only need a few percentage points of a illegal voting system, or an illegal using the voting system to swing a district, to swing a state race, to swing we're talking on state level, folks. We're talking on state elections, municipal elections, county, like these smaller, like you can win by almost a couple hundred votes, some of these, right? This is how I think that we're being kind of pulled the wool being pulled over our eyes kind of thing. But my biggest thing is the breakdown of the party population, okay? This is from the Independent Voter Project. Total registered voters, a little over 4 million. Democrats are at 25.29, a little over a million. Republicans are at 916,000 at 22%. Third party or others sitting at 2.3%. And unaffiliated, grand total of 49.5%. So almost half of our population is unaffiliated voters. And what happens when you are an unaffiliated voter? Here in Colorado, you get multiple ballots. You get 2 different ballots when you are an unaffiliated voter. Let me find it here. No, this is what I want. This is from the jeffco.us. This is from Jefferson County website here. Because it says when you are an unaffiliated voter, you get both ballots. I don't need ballot tracks. The other thing that's interesting, because there's third-party ballot sites that ask for your information, which is kind of freaky in my opinion. Register to vote online. Let's go back here. All right, take a beat. Okay, I say it right here. Unaffiliated voters are an overlooked problem in Colorado. Just on voter registration alone, they get both ballots. They get a Democrat and a Republican ballot. What happens to the ballot that they do not fill out? I often throw mine away. I trash it. A lot of people, shred it, scrap it. If you can, burn it, honestly. I just think that, in my opinion, having a ballot that's been given to you that says this ballot is associated with your name, and we're going to send you 2 of them or multiple of them, and whatever ones you don't use, just get rid of it. How do we know, first of all, that whatever ballot you do decide to send gets counted appropriately, gets counted for the people you are choosing, actively wanting to choose, and on top of that, how do we even know it's being listed under the correct party? It's all number, and I don't have an answer, folks. These are just my questions, and I'm just wondering. It's like, why can't we see an actual breakdown of like my response, right? I want to make sure that in 2024, my Colorado ballot, my name went to Donald Trump and all the down ballot decisions. I want to make sure that those actually followed through. I want to see a physical receipt. But then the argument goes, well, voting's supposed to be anonymous, so you're not supposed to be able to associate votes with names. The actual vote with a name. And I see that. So I guess my question to you is like, how do we verify that our vote actually goes to the vote in which we are wishing it to? Or do we just take the state's word for it? Right? How do we know our vote was counted? And it just says that it was counted. It doesn't say how it was counted. Do you see what I'm saying with that? I don't know if I'm confusing you. Let me know. But I just feel like there's a lot of discrepancy, especially when we're talking about the state of Colorado sending out multiple ballots to one person. And not only that, you also get situations like this. You also get situations like this. When we see a friend in Colorado just sent this to me. Her daughter hasn't been a legal resident in Colorado for over a decade, and these are all the mail-in ballots that have been sent to her over the last few months. Look at that. So someone who doesn't even live in Colorado is still getting ballots mailed to them. And the county clerk here in Colorado says, oh, well, we double check and we verify through other state interstate packs. We make sure that even though we send out duplicate ballots in Colorado or duplicate addresses in different places here in Colorado or across the country, even if you don't live in Colorado anymore, it doesn't matter. Duplicate ballots, they're null and void. So we double check. We double check with other. Then why are you even sending them out in the first place? Clean the voter rolls. Clean the voter rolls and verify that everyone in the state should be getting one ballot. And arguably, I feel like the whole unaffiliated system should be done away with entirely. And it's not that I'm against. Here's these people. Here's the ones. So the gold standard. This is Jenna Griswold's gold standard of election of election security. Democrat lesbian USPS workers in Colorado pled guilty to stealing and forging mail-in ballots in the 2024 election. Vicky Stewart and her lover, Sally Jane, intercepted ballots and forged signatures. This is the gold standard we're dealing with, folks. Gandalf, what do you have to say for me?
You shall not pass!
This is the behavior that we're dealing with. So how can you tell me that we are in a place that has secure elections when anyone, if you don't have the chain of custody can be broken in so many places along the way of a mail-in ballot. I personally drop mine off physically every time. However, even still to that point, they always claim, oh yeah, it's under watch 24/7. This is the same old. I mean, they say the same shit. Where is it? They say how secure it is, and like, let me see, because they assure you that this is the safest and most secure thing, and we're the best, and nothing can go wrong. Let me see. Transparency and security. We can take a tour. That's cool. We could you know what I might do? I might take a tour. I might take a tour of the election process. But yeah, I have this pulled up. They say we use paper ballots for every election, so there's physical record of each vote that is cast. Ballot Tracks is a service that lets voters track their ballot through the process. Every ballot is kept for 25 months. And this is the thing. That right there is the main reason, one of the large reasons why Tina Peters should not be in jail. Every ballot is kept for 25 months after each election in case we need to refer back to them. But yet, Jenna Griswold wanted all of our election information from 2020 removed after 6 months. So Tina Peters says, no, I'm going to bring someone in to keep it safe. And that's what caused the whole unwinding, right? Our ballot boxes are under 24 hours, 7 days a week video surveillance. Bipartisan teams of election judges pick ballots. We use logs and seals to establish and maintain a chain of custody from the moment you drop off your ballot. From the moment you drop off your ballot. What if you mail it in? Right? What if you mail it in? And people like this pick up your ballots in the mail. You tell me how we verify, how do we have secure chain of custody if these people can just pick it up in the mail? Right? Riddle me that, Batman. Okay? And then I wanted to show you this because I think it all of this election conversation that I've been hitting hard on this last week, it all ties into a larger effort and a larger agenda that I think is at play. I'm still not 100%. Like, it's all, I'm sitting at about probably 80%. Like, I see all these things happening. I just don't know how to properly piece it together. I know they all go together somehow. I'm still trying to work that out. So this is DNI Tulsi Gabbard speaking on election and Dominion voting machines. What machines do we use in Colorado? What machines do we use in the United States? Dominion. What was the baseline baseboard infrastructure that the Venezuelan Smartmatic systems installed in? It was Venezuelan-owned Smartmatic systems that got Maduro all of his election wins, and all of the suspicious election behavior that happened in Venezuela. All of that data, all of that infrastructure, not data, all of the infrastructure and how the elections were operated within those systems are now being operated within Dominion. Okay? Let's listen. Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Okay? I've got a long list of things that we're investigating. We have the best of the best going after this. The election integrity is being one of them. Report. Dominion deleted 2.7 million Trump votes nationwide. Data analysis finds 221,000 Pennsylvania votes switched from President Trump to Biden. 941,000 Trump votes deleted. The states using Dominion voting systems switched 435 votes from Trump to Biden. Okay, let's take a listen from what Tulsi Gabbard has been speaking on. And like I said, all of this is just, I'm putting it out into the ether for everyone to also be a part of this. So if you see something that I don't, or if I'm missing something when it comes to the Smartmatic Venezuelan systems, the Dominion voting machines that are in America now, the corruption that happened in Venezuela, and the now what we see as an apparent front of attacking drug cartels under the guise of attacking drug cartels, which are valid. I think we are trying to establish a reasonable suspicion or reasonable motive to get America on the ground in Venezuela to follow up with some of this election intel. I guarantee you there's some sort of election intel in Venezuela or some compromising or smoking gun information that can associate everything as far as election integrity, as far as election fraud, point proven. And I think there's a treasure trove in Venezuela, in my opinion. But let's listen to Gabbard. Let's listen to what she has to say.
I've got a long list of things that we're investigating. We have the best of the best going after this. Election integrity being one of them. We have evidence of how these electronic voting systems have been vulnerable to hackers for a very long time and vulnerable to exploitation to manipulate the results of the votes being cast, which further drives forward your mandate to bring about paper ballots across the country so that voters can have faith in the integrity of our elections. I've got a long list of
I think we also need to make sure that when we speak about paper ballots, we eliminate mail-in ballots. Okay? That is my thing. You can, I do, and I'm not saying we should get rid of mail-in ballots entirely. I think some people there should be stricter requirements for why you might suggestively operate with a mail-in ballot. Whether you're, disabled, your accessibility, elderly, you name it, like unable to travel. There are many reasons why mail-in ballots cannot be eliminated. We have to retain some sense of accessibility for everyone to operate and vote. However, what needs to happen is we cannot and should not use, even though it's a federal system, even though the United States Postal Service is a federal system, we should not be submitting our vote through a non-election verified, secure chain of custody, chain of command. So I think if that's the case, there should be multiple more drop boxes or pickups. Like we should have like if you are going to have mail-in ballots or paper ballots that get mailed out, I think there should be a Brinks truck or some sort of election, a ballot harvester truck that drives around. Yeah, absentee is different than universal, right? And absentee is obviously for like overseas, military, you name it. But yeah, so I'm saying there needs to be a clear definition and a distinction between anybody gets a ballot in the mail and you can send it off in the mail and good luck, and I'm sure it'll get there. And then we end up getting situations with like those women that and it wasn't just here. It was in Pennsylvania, it was in Michigan, it was in Minnesota, so many different places. You remember the James O'Keefe had an investigation of someone ballot harvesting, right? Picking up mail-in ballots and ballot harvesting. Okay? It's all available, folks. It's all here, all available. Oh, ready? Oh, I have to show you this. This is nightmare fuel, and I'm sorry that you have to watch this, but here it is.
I'm the law now. I'm here to protect democracy from election deniers. I'm the law
She's
now.
Crazy.
I'm here to protect democracy from election deniers.
Wow, that's crazy, right? That's insane. AI is wild, bro. AI is so wild. I wanted to pull this up because this is interesting. And this all kind of just like sprinkles it all in, okay? A timeline. A Venezuelan timeline. "1992 became the third richest country in the hemisphere. 97 became the second largest purchaser of F-150s." Which is random. I don't know. Okay. 2001 voted for a socialist president. Income inequality. 2004 private healthcare is completely socialized. 2007 higher education becomes, quote, free. 2009 socialists ban private ownerships of guns. That is a big red flag. We don't do that. 2012, Bernie Sanders praises their American dream. 2014, opposition leaders are imprisoned. Hey, didn't that happen? Wasn't that something that happened? I can't remember when. I can't remember. Was it what? Didn't during the Biden administration? Didn't they arrest Trump's lawyers, Trump himself, Trump's attorneys, and anybody in Trump's circle? Didn't they do that already here in America? They arrested the opposition through bogus felony charges on him, mind you. Well, they're technically still in play, but these are all trumped up charges, pun intended, you know. Food, healthcare shortages become widespread. 2017, Constitution and elections are suspended. 2019, unarmed citizens massacred by their own government. It took only one generation of progressive leadership to plunge this country into civil war. Do you see any similarities? And I'm not saying everything is the same. And like I said, not all of this is happening yet, but all of these are being wanted by a certain group here in America, right? There is a group of Americans here, loosely termed Americans that want this kind of control, that want this kind of government here in America. And it's also so interesting that Venezuela is the same country that has this very strange relationship with voting manipulation and voter systems. Where is it? Oh yeah, we don't care about that. No. Do I even have it here? Does it? Yeah. I pulled it up in my Monday live stream. It's all here. All this is here. But yeah. Let me see. Let me bring it back. Bring it back. I think I did this on Monday, but I'm going to reread it again because it's just kind of all just simmers together. It all simmers together. Okay. Tina Peters court case, former election official from Venezuela gives sworn testimony regarding Smartmatic. Okay. Sir, do you have personal knowledge of whether the election systems of the United States and the voting system can be manipulated by foreign agents? The electoral system of the United States can be manipulated by foreign agents or third parties. That was the answer. Question. Sir, are you in danger, physical danger, if your true identity is known? Answer. Yes. Okay. This was from the Skiff. Okay. Caracas' view of Smartmatic and its voting machine. Venezuela-owned Smartmatic Corporation revealed both ownership and operation, complicated by the fact that its machines have overseen several landslide and contested victories by President Hugo Chavez and his supporters. The electronic voting company went from a small technology startup to a market player in just a few years, catapulted by participating in August 2004 recall referendum. Smartmatic has claimed to be the U.S. origin, but its true owners, probably elite Venezuelans of several political strains, remain hidden behind a web of holding companies. We have found those Venezuelan elites. Those names are in this paperwork. Where was it? Where did I have it? Was it here? Was it down here? I think it was. Yeah. No, not this one. It was this one. Where was it? I had it earlier. Well, folks, I'm at a place now where this is where we need to be. Okay? I'm going to read you this because we can keep going back and forth and around the circles about election integrity, election, preservations, and what we need to do. The fact is that we have to hold these, contest these systems, and make sure that we know and understand how our votes are being counted, how, like, the system in which we are implementing, the system in which we are using is actually in our favor. So in time, I would like to create a really succinct and like top down, like speak to you like you're a fifth grader kind of conversation of what we need to do, how we need to operate, how we need to work. Mark Cook, I believe that's his name. Mark Cook is a great reference. I believe he's the one here in Colorado trying to get paper ballots in, like physical paper ballots, not mail-in. And we have to work on that, folks. We have to be aware that they are out to attack us everywhere. Why am I hiccuping so much? Oh my gosh. Sorry. This is kind of just a whatever moment. But let's read this. Okay. This is from Free State, Colorado yesterday, and it encapsulates the vibe in which I'm trying to speak. Okay. We have to stay persistent. We have to stay vigilant. We have to stay on top of the game. We have to stay sharp as a tack and poised and ready, right? Free State Colorado says, have a wonderful Wednesday. I posted this yesterday, so give me some fucking slack. Give me some slack. Okay? Something is happening around our state. A new generation of leaders are appearing. Every day, Coloradans are standing up, speaking out, and showing up. Brave men and women are setting an example for their communities, and more are joining every day. After all, bravery is contagious. Getting involved in politics, especially at the local level, can be uncomfortable. Having people disagree with you and even get mad is never fun. But I can guarantee you'll be happier if you, quote, brave the storm of life. That's what we're doing here, folks. If you use your voice and have an impact, you will see the fruits of your labor. That is what I'm doing every day. I try to hang out with you. I try to have conversation. I appreciate everyone in the chat. Thumbs up in the chat. Share this shit, right? In such times as these, many are called to action, and some will remain on the sidelines merely existing. But the future of Colorado will be built by those who show up, get involved, and make it happen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Nah, dude, honestly, I can't take credit for that. Brandon does a great job writing that down. He's got the Hunter Thompson. You know, who is the happier man? He who has braved the storm of life and lived, or who has stayed securely on the shore and merely existed? Folks, that is what Brandon is speaking on here. That is what I am speaking on. That is the vibe that we need to retain. Okay, that is where we need to keep our mind set and focused on. I said showing up is the biggest part. How can we be the change we wish to see in the world if we never get off of our butts and get involved? Join me and join all of us. Colorado is our state, all together, everyone here, and you can apply that however you see fit, wherever you live. Okay? If you're sick, and this ties into my whole I went on a rant about anarchy a few days ago, and I've got a lot of anarchist friends, and I've got a lot of people in the chat who probably say, "Oh, the system's fucked, black pill, bullshit. It's all con," and it ties in intimately with this election, with the election process. Oh, I'll vote harder this time. Oh, just vote harder. I'm sure that'll make a difference, folks. I am aware that the system is fucked. I am aware that we are fighting an uphill battle like all around us. We are in a pit of despair. But the thing is, we cannot let the darkness win. We cannot let the evil win. That is why I stand and I sit. I stand here with you and I speak my truth every day, and I try to rally this energy together, and we have to be better. We have to build a better world around us. Otherwise, we're going to end up like this guy. We're going to end up like a creepy, scary, goofy ass Phil Weiser. This guy was defending conversion therapy a couple days ago in the U.S. Supreme Court. Forest Mommy says, the last thing you see is an unaccompanied immigrant minor in Colorado. Ugh. Disgusting. The face of a man fighting for genital mutilation and psychological mental abuse of children in Colorado, otherwise known as conversion therapy. That's what I said. What a fucking creep. And that's what we have to do, folks. We have to speak up. We have to speak loud. We have to rally together. Okay? And that's kind of where it is. And that's what, thank you. I say that all the time. And it really tires me out because so many people, I have to show you that. So many people in this area, so many people in this world scream at the top of their lungs, well, they're all corrupt. They're all a bunch of pedophiles. Oh, they're all Trump and Epstein and Clinton and Obama. They're all evil. Like they all say this shit, right? Every day. It's so tiring. But guess what? If you really gave a damn, you'd be in the fight. Because half of my quote unquote anarchist friends, they LARP just as hard as these fucking Antifa shit stains that walk around the streets with their cardboard cutout shields and their little batons. my Antifa friends, oh, they don't participate, or they just stand on the sidelines while they do mushrooms at a fucking festival in the woods, or they go to the beach in Mexico and have a good time and share their Bitcoin and all this other shit, right? They always float around and they don't participate, and they're all happy-go-lucky, doing drugs, using Bitcoin, sure, living off the system, parallel economy. I'm all for a parallel economy, but you can't tell me, you can't beat me up and bash on me for trying to actively, fundamentally change the system that has been built up to enslave us. Generation over generation, they have built this system around us since arguably World War II. In its modern form, in its modern technological advancements since the 90s, the last 30 years particularly, we have seen a exponential rise in totalitarian, authoritarian control grid, right? Whether it's the Patriot Act, whether it's DHS, whether it's NSA, whether it's FBI, violation of your Bill of Rights, you name it, it's all been here, okay? What I'm trying to address is, yeah, I see all this. I see the shit. I see the problem. I see the corruption. I see everything happening around me. I want to be the change. And the only way to do that is to get in the system itself, get involved, start talking to the politicians, holding these people accountable rather than just sitting there bitching at them. Oh, you all suck. You suck. Get out of here. Oh, another globalist shill, another puppet. What does that do? Because guess what? At the end of the day, they're still going to vote in tyranny. You got to put in good people. You got to vet and elect good people into the system to change the system. I don't know how else to fucking do it. Let me know what you think in the chat. Let me know what you think in the comments. I hope that my rant was passionate and you got something out of it, and I hope you vibe with me on that. And right now I'm really targeting the whole election structure, and I'm trying to really call out the corruption that's happening specifically here in Colorado, tying that in with modern arguments, and hopefully get some younger, or get some shorter videos out, get some better, some more shareable content that you can use to bring to other people, because my hour-long live streams, yeah, there's peaks and valleys, right? There's important parts and there's kind of lower parts, and I get that. I think everyone has that when you do a live stream, right? You have ups and downs, right? It all happens, but there's some good. If I make a good 10-minute segment, if a good 8 to 15-minute segment, you clip it, you snip it, you share it, you do whatever you can, you let people know where it is. But I am wrapping up right now here on this live stream because I cannot be late. I got to go to work here. But stay tuned because I got a lot of new and fun stuff coming on the way. I've got a lot of excellent things happening down the pipeline. I've got some more videos coming out. I've got some more short form stuff coming out. Feel free to like and share this video. Check out Realm Walker Hot Sauce at breakthechains.media. That is the website if you want to grab a bottle of hot sauce. The recipes are here. You got to message me if you want a bottle of hot sauce. So if you want to do that, you got to follow me on X. Break the Chains M on X. And this is, I'm going to be leaving you with this because this is fantastic. This makes perfect sense. Amazing. Red Dawn. The movie Red Dawn, one of the best movies. It's probably top tier, top 5 best movies of all time. Not just because it takes down a bunch of communists, but because it takes place in Colorado. So excellent. Watching Gen X kids watching the news right now. Every single Gen X kid is watching the news right now. This is what the vibe is, right? I can't say that I'm a Gen X kid. I'm a little bit younger, but Melindy, I will. Please send me whatever homework you can. I know you're probably going to shoot it to me on Discord, but I appreciate anything and everything you would like to, because I want to make sure that whatever I post out is actually like quality, right? I want to make those short form videos like other people do that do live streams like this, and I want to make sure that it's able to be shared so everyone can be like, oh, that makes sense, oh, that's easy, rather than trying to rifle through an hour and a half long live stream. So folks, without further ado, we are rating the Owen Schroyer Report. The Owen Report on Rumble. So I appreciate everyone joining me here on this Tyranny Response Thursday. I don't know, this Thursday review, right? But I appreciate everyone. We will stay informed, stay in tune. Follow me on all platforms. I love you and I appreciate you. And as always, fight for freedom and never give up.